Have you ever wondered what would have happened if Yuji Itadori was born with the six eyes, not as an ordinary kid with insane physical strength, but as a once-in-a-generation prodigy destined to stand at the top of the Jujutsu world? If the power meant for the strongest sorcerers awakened within Yuji from birth, how completely would that rewrite the entire Jujutsu Kaisen timeline? The story begins far back in the Heian era. In a blood-soaked temple lit by dying flames, Ryomen Sukuna sits calmly on a throne of corpses. Standing before him is a man with stitches across his forehead, Kenjaku. The two monsters aren't fighting, they're planning. A plan that won't unfold tomorrow, not in 10 years, but 1,000 years later. Kenjaku promises Sukuna something impossible. A perfect vessel. Centuries pass, and in this altered timeline, Kenjaku makes his move early. He possesses a woman named Ari Itadori, the sister of Jin Itadori, and carefully places himself near the most powerful bloodline alive. She marries into the most powerful bloodline alive, and eventually, she gives birth to a boy named Yuji. The moment the child opens his eyes, the world trembles, because staring back at the Jujutsu world are the six eyes, a power so rare it appears only once in an era. But this time, for the first time in history, there are two, the newborn Yuji and a 10-year-old prodigy named Satoru Gojo. However, there's a twist. Unlike Gojo, Yuji does not inherit infinity, because fate does not allow two wielders of both six eyes and limitless at once. He has the perception, the efficiency, the divine awareness, but not the untouchable barrier. And that imbalance is exactly what Kenjaku wanted. The moment Yuji is born, Kenjaku does something unthinkable. He feeds the newborn child 10 of Sukuna's fingers, not one. 10. And yet, Sukuna does not awaken. Why? Why would Kenjaku risk everything at birth? Why didn't the King of Curses take control instantly? We'll uncover that soon. But the moment Yuji takes his first breath, Kenjaku disappears. His part in this phase of the plan complete, rumors spread instantly. A child with the six eyes is born. Bounties appear in the shadows. Assassins whisper, but there's a problem. Because guarding that child is 10-year-old Gojo. And even at that age, he is untouchable. He protects his younger half-brother effortlessly. Years pass. Gojo turns 17 and enrolls at Tokyo Jujutsu High. Yuji is now 7. On the surface, he lives like a normal child, but physically, he's terrifying. Faster, stronger, more durable than any kid his age, because deep inside, he is both human and something else, though no one knows it yet. Meanwhile, history moves forward almost unchanged, and the hidden inventory arc unfolds the same way. Riko Armanai is chosen as the star plasma vessel. Toji Fushiguro intervenes. Riko dies. Toji is killed by Gojo, and Suguru Geto begins his descent into darkness. Yuji is still just a child, watching, learning, unaware that he was never meant to live an ordinary life, and this is where the timeline slowly begins to crack. Years pass. Yuji grows. 17 now, calm, sharp, and terrifyingly aware. The Jujutsu world no longer whispers his name, they fear it. Just like Satoru Gojo, Yuji becomes an anomaly. Six eyes user without infinity. A prodigy with overwhelming cursed energy, but in perfect control. Around this time, another special grade enters the picture, Yuta Okatsu. When Yuta enrolls at Tokyo Jujutsu High, Yuji stands beside him from day one. Alongside first years like Maki Zenin and Panda, the new generation begins to take shape. Then it happens. Suguru Geto makes his move. He comes for Rika. But this time, Yuta isn't alone. When Geto launches his attack, Yuji steps forward. Six eyes activated, he reads every curse flow, every movement, every weakness. And together, Yuji and Yuta overwhelmed Geto far faster than in the original timeline. Geto falls, but death was never the end, because soon after, the stitches return. Kenjaku takes Geto's body, just like he always planned. And pause for a second. If you're still watching right now, that means you actually care about insane Jujutsu Kaisen timelines like this. So do me one favor, subscribe. Because I promise you, the next What If We're Cooking will make this one look normal. And I don't want you missing it when it drops. Now, let's continue. Time moves again. Yuji grows stronger under Gojo's guidance. Teacher, brother, rival. By this point, Yuji has mastered reverse curse technique. His healing is nearly flawless, but there's one thing he still hasn't achieved, a domain expansion. Why? Because although his cursed energy reserves are monstrous, his control is unstable. Unlike Gojo, he doesn't have infinity to balance his output. He sees everything, but controlling everything? That's different. Soon new students arrive. Megumi Fushiguro, Nobara Kugisaki, the next wave begins, but Gojo makes a surprising decision. Instead of sending Yuta overseas, he sends Yuji to Africa to search for the remaining fragments of the Black Rope. the only weapon capable of interfering with Limitless. In this timeline, Yuji is second only to Gojo, so Yuji leaves and Yuta stays in Japan. Meanwhile, Curse, born from humanity's hatred, takes shape. Mahito. Kenjaku begins rebuilding his disaster alliance. Jogo, Hanami, Dagon. The pieces are set, and then Shibuya. The curses seal off the city. They wait not for Yuji, for Gojo. Inside the chaos, students like Megumi and Yuta have no idea what's truly coming. And just like the original timeline, Gojo dominates. He slaughters curses effortlessly until a familiar voice speaks from the shadows. Satoru. Kenjaku steps forward. The prison realm opens. Satoru Gojo is sealed again. The moment Yuta Okotsu hears that Gojo has been sealed, he doesn't hesitate. He runs straight towards the prison realm's location. No strategy, no delay, just rage. When Yuta arrives, he sees flames still burning across Shibuya. Standing there alone is Jogo. Kenjaku and Mahito have already disappeared. Yuta asks one thing, "Where are my teammates?" Jogo laughs. He underestimates him. That mistake costs him everything. What follows is not a short fight. Jogo is no weak curse. His volcanic eruptions tear through buildings. Maximum meteor lights up the sky. But Yuta doesn't panic. He adapts. Rika manifests fully. Cursed energy floods the battlefield, and the gap becomes obvious. Jogo is strong, but Yuta is on another level. After a brutal exchange, Yuta exorcises him. One of the disaster curses is gone. Breathing heavily, Yuta walks toward the prison realm. He places his hand on it. He tries to lift it. Nothing. It doesn't move an inch, not even slightly. Gojo remains sealed. Meanwhile, elsewhere in Shibuya, Megumi Fushiguro, Maki Zenin, and Naobito Zenin are trapped inside Dagon's domain. They're overwhelmed. The oceanic Shikigami swarm endlessly. It feels hopeless until suddenly the air shifts. A presence enters the domain, a man with no cursed energy. Toji Fushiguro has been resurrected again. He doesn't speak. He doesn't hesitate. He simply begins slaughtering Dagon. Brute force, pure physical dominance. Within moments, Dagon is exorcised, but Toji isn't done. His eyes land on Megumi, and instinct takes over. Father and son clash, blades collide, shadows surge. For a brief moment, it's not a curse fight, it's something personal. Then Toji remembers Megumi Fushiguro, his son, just like the original timeline. Toji makes his decision and ends his own life. Again, shaken, wounded, and pushed beyond his limit, Megumi later encounters Haruta Shigemo. Haruta mocks him, pressures him, breaks him mentally, and this time, there is no Yuji nearby, no Sukuna waiting inside a vessel, no safety net. So Megumi makes the ultimate gamble. He summons the forbidden Shikigami, 8-handled sword, divergent, Sila divine general, Mahoraga. The wheel begins to turn. Mahoraga manifests and immediately kills Haruta, but here's the problem. There is no Sukuna in Shibuya, no king of curses to overpower it, no one strong enough nearby to stop it. Here we go, the moment Yuta Okotsu feels the violent shift in cursed energy. His instincts scream. That energy isn't normal, it's ancient, it's evolving. He rushes toward it at full speed, and when he arrives, he sees something that makes even him freeze. Mahoraga stands over a bloodied Megumi Fushiguro. The wheel above Mahoraga's head is turning, adapting, preparing to strike. Megumi can barely move. One more second, and he dies. Yuta doesn't think, he moves. Rika manifests instantly. Cursed energy floods the city. Yuta opens with overwhelming output. Copied techniques, high-level swordplay, raw force. Mahoraga blocks, adapts. The wheel turns once. Yuta changes strategy. Long-range attacks. Mahoraga adapts again. The wheel turns twice. Yuta grits his teeth. He has never encountered something that learns mid-fight like this. Rika fully manifests. The sky darkens. Their combined energy shakes Shibuya, but Mahoraga keeps evolving. Every slash becomes less effective. Every curse technique becomes predictable. For the first time in years, Yuta feels fear. If this continues, even he might fall. Mahoraga raises its blade. The wheel turns again. And then space distorts. A purple beam erases everything in its path. Mahoraga disappears instantly, no adaptation, no survival, just absolute erasure. Yuta's eyes widen. Hollow, purple, his heart skips. Gojo sensei. But when the smoke clears, it isn't Gojo. Through the settling dust, walking calmly, 6 eyes glowing, is Yuji. 17, composed, terrifying. "You're late," Yuta says. Yuji smirks. "Had to finish something." With Shibuya barely stabilized, the remaining sorcerers regroup. Then the next shockwave hits. The culling game has begun. They rush to Master Tengen. Tengen explains everything. Kenjaku's true objective, the merging, the reincarnated sorcerers, the chaos to come. A plan is formed. The team will locate Angel to unseal Gojo. Yuji, he chooses something else. "I'll kill Kenjaku." No hesitation, no debate, just resolve. Yuji finds Kenjaku before anyone expects. The battle is catastrophic. Gravity techniques bend the battlefield. Ancient sorcery floods the sky. But Yuji's 6 eyes see everything, every flow, every weakness, every deception. Kenjaku realizes something horrifying. Yuji isn't just strong, he's analyzing him, learning him, adapting faster than expected. Yuji's rage explodes. He combines raw, cursed output with surgical precision. And finally, he fires a perfected hollow purple, stronger than before, more stable, more focused. It tears through Kenjaku completely. As Kenjaku collapses, he smiles. You fool, this was always the trigger. And he dies. For a second, everything is silent. Then, Yuji's body convulses. His cursed energy spikes beyond anything recorded. A roar shakes the heavens. After 1,000 years, Ryumen Sukuna fully awakens. The truth reveals itself. Kenjaku's binding vow. The moment he dies, Sukuna's full power activates. The 10 fingers planted at birth were anchors. Now, with Kenjaku gone, Sukuna consumes the remaining fingers instantly. He knows their locations because Yuji's 6 eyes showed him. Yuji tries to suppress him, but this time, Sukuna is complete. Control shifts. The King of Curses stands free, in a 6 eyes body. Sukuna laughs. This is perfection. Meanwhile, Angel succeeds. The prison realm opens. Satoru Gojo steps out. The moment his feet touch the ground, he feels it. Sukuna, but wrong, distorted, familiar. Gojo arrives and sees Sukuna inside Yuji. For the first time, Gojo is silent. The fight begins instantly. Infinity collides with Malevolent Shrine. Perception meets perception. For the first time, Gojo fights someone who sees what he sees. Their movements are unreadable to anyone else. They counter before attacks begin. They predict before intentions form. At first, Gojo dominates. Experience matters. Control matters. Sukuna begins losing ground. So he does something insane. He transforms into his Heian form, while retaining 6 eyes perception. Now, even Gojo feels pressure, domain expansion, malevolent shrine, unlimited void. The clash tears apart the sky. Reality fractures. Time feels distorted. The battle drags on. Gojo begins to tire. His output slows. Sukuna grins. Victory is near. Then, a heartbeat echoes inside Sukuna's chest, inside the domain. Boom, boom, boom. Sukuna falters. His form flickers inside his own innate domain. Yuji is fighting, not physically but spiritually, a soul battle. Yuji refuses to surrender. With 6 eyes awareness, he understands Sukuna's structure. He targets the core of his soul and destroys it from within. Sukuna roars, and control shifts. The Heian form collapses. Yuji stands there instead, breathing heavily, wounded, but smiling. He looks at Gojo. See, bro, I told you I'd handle it. I guess I'm stronger now. For once, Gojo laughs. Not arrogantly, not proudly, but genuinely. Because the next era has arrived. And that's where this timeline ends. But Sukuna isn't completely erased. The bond still lingers, meaning this world is still unstable. And if you want part 2 of this insane alternate timeline, you already know what to do.